Hello students, welcome to Class 10 Science. We are doing the chapter Acids, Bases and Salts. And under this chapter, today I take up the topic of chemical properties of acids and bases. This is a huge topic, so I'll take it in parts. Today we will discuss a part of this. Come, let us start. To know the chemical properties of acids and bases, we carry out certain chemical reactions. In this chapter, we will discuss chemical properties as per the reaction of acid and bases with metal, metal carbonates, metal hydrogen carbonates, reaction of acids with bases, reaction of acids and bases with metal oxides and with non-metal oxides. In this video, I'll cover the reaction of acid and bases with metals, metal carbonate and metal hydrogen carbonate. To start with, we will discuss activity 2.3 and 2.4 as given in NCERT textbook. So let us start with activity 2.3. Here we set up the apparatus as shown in figure 2.1. As you can see, here there is a test tube attached to a test tube stand. A delivery tube is attached to this test tube and it connects the test tube with a glass tumbler. In this test tube, we take about 5 ml of dilute sulfuric acid and add a few zinc granules to it. Now what we observe? We see a gas is evolved in the test tube and this gas passes through the delivery tube into the soap solution that is present in the glass tumbler. Now as it passes through the soap solution, we see bubbles of soap comes out. Now what we do? We bring a burning matchstick or a burning candle near these bubbles and we observe that these bubbles burst with a pop sound. What does this indicate? This indicates the production of hydrogen gas. So what happens exactly? When metal in the above reaction displaces hydrogen from the acid, it forms hydrogen gas and metal part combines with the remaining part of the acid to form a salt. Thus, metal plus acid gives salt plus hydrogen gas. Now let's see what happens when this metal is allowed to react with a base. Now if we place a few pieces of zinc metal in a test tube and add about say 2 milliliter of sodium hydroxide solution, which is a base, to it, what we observe? We observe the same thing. That is, the metal when reacts with a base gives metal salt along with the release of hydrogen gas. However, such reactions are not possible with all metals. So we can conclude that base plus metal gives salt plus hydrogen gas. Now let us see what happens when metal carbonates react with an acid. To check this, we do another activity where we take 2 test tubes and label them A and B. In one of them, we add about 0.5 gram of sodium carbonate, let's say in test tube A, and in test tube B, we add about 0.5 gram of sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate. Now, we add 2 ml of dilute hydrochloric acid to both test tube A and B. Now what we observe? We observe a gas is produced in each case. Now what we do? We allow this gas to pass through lime water and we find that lime water turns milky. What does this indicate? This indicates that the gas produced is carbon dioxide. So we can summarize that all metal carbonates and hydrogen carbonates react with acids to give corresponding salt, carbon dioxide and water. let us once see the lime water test. In this test tube, we add dilute hydrochloric acid to some sodium carbonate and we see a gas is produced. Now this gas is allowed to pass through the delivery tube into a second test tube where we have kept calcium hydroxide solution, which we commonly call lime water. And we see as soon as this gas passes through that lime water solution, lime water turns milky. Do you know why? It is because when carbon dioxide passes through calcium hydroxide solution, it produces white precipitate of calcium carbonate, which gives this milky color. And the reaction can be written as shown here. But remember, on passing excess carbon dioxide, the reaction changes a bit. That is, the insoluble precipitate gets dissolved. It becomes soluble in water. So what exactly happens? This calcium carbonate, when reacts with water along with carbon dioxide, it forms calcium hydrogen carbonate, which is soluble in water. So on passing excess of carbon dioxide, this lime water again loses its milkiness. Now, what happens when metal carbonate and metal hydrogen carbonates react with bases? When a metal carbonate or hydrogen carbonate is reacted with a base, no reaction takes place. Now, what is the reason? The reason is metal carbonates and hydrogen carbonates themselves are basic in nature. So, we have seen some chemical properties of acids and bases with respect to their reaction with metal carbonates, metal hydrogen carbonate. Now, this topic is over. There is a small practice session based on the topic discussed today. Go through this and try to write the answers as per the knowledge obtained from this video. Until I come up with my next video, keep learning, enjoy learning.